right now on 5 on your side at 10.
The entire St. Louis area is now under a severe thunderstorm watch as well as a flash flood watch as potential storms are moving in overnight. We are busy tracking the storms and watching the roads. We begin tonight in Storm Alert. I'm Ann Allred. Thank you for being with us. Mike Bush has the week off. Robert Townsend spent the day at the St. Louis County Emergency Operations Center. Brent Solomon spoke with crews preparing for the storm. But let's start our team coverage with Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell tracking these systems right now. Scott.
We remain in storm alert tonight, Ann, and we will be through the overnight hours until this threat is over. The severe weather threat looks more concentrated southwest of St. Louis, and it appears much of the metro area we can't guarantee it, but may escape the worst of the flooding. It may be just to our southwest. Right now, there are warnings in effect. We have severe thunderstorm and flash flood warnings for areas to the southwest of St. Louis. We just added a new warning in here. Crawford, Washington, Phelps counties under severe thunderstorm warnings right now. This will be for gusty winds up to 60 miles per hour as these storms are percolating to the southeast. They're right along Highway 44 from Cuba up towards Sullivan. You get into Franklin County and into Gasconade County, these storms not only producing quite the light show, but also producing a tremendous amount of rain over areas that saw 5 inches or more of rain earlier today. We also have some thunderstorms popping up towards Farmington, up towards Bonne Terre right now. And then you look back into the metro area, nothing really all that dramatic. Notice how all this extends back to the west. We have to watch this through the evening hours. So you're looking at the severe weather threat, 60-mile-per-hour winds, maybe hail up to the size of golf balls. This is how it's going to move over the next few hours in general. A lot of it staying west and southwest of St. Louis, not by far, but maybe just far enough to keep the metro out of a severe flood threat. Having said that, we still expect significant 5 to 7, 8 inches of rain or more heading across areas to our south and southwest. Depending on which model you look at, some of the models are moving it a little closer to the metro area. If we got 5 to 7 inches in the immediate metro, it's a much worse situation because of all the concrete and all the runoff from the urban corridor. There's a lookout in Chesterfield right now looking to the west and southwest. There's been quite the light show well southwest of St. Louis. The severe threat mainly to our south and southwest of St. Louis. The flood threat is overnight, will continue until the last of these storms push out. And there could very well be a narrow 6 to 9 inches of rain, a very narrow band that's expected to be somewhere to the southwest of St. Louis, maybe flirting with the metro area. That's going to be our biggest concern happening during the overnight hours, Ann.
St. Louis County is preparing for the possibility of severe weather and flooding overnight. Hours ago, it activated its Emergency Operations Center in Baldwin. Our Robert Townsend continues our team coverage and joins us live from that area tonight.
Hey there, Ann. You know, right now we have light rain, lots of lightning, and definitely loud thunder out here in this area. Heavy rain is expected overnight, and that's why emergency officials are warning people to be extra careful and safe. In just a matter of hours, forecasters predict the St. Louis area could get hit with heavy rain. Rain that flooded streets, homes, and businesses during a historic summer storm last July.
We started preparing yesterday.
Weather watchers at the St. Louis County Emergency Operations Center in Baldwin have now launched what they call a level 2 partial activation. They say they're especially ready for any potential flash flooding.
It can come up very rapid. We saw that last year in July.
The workers here will track the storm around the clock on several flat screens, computers, and laptops. They've teamed up with the Department of Transportation, the American Red Cross, and the Department of Health in the event of major flooding problems.
We coordinate with local first responders to assess what it is that they need from us, and then we support them in that.
They say safety is their top priority.
They need to pay attention to any kind of weather notices that come out, follow the National Weather Service on social media.
Flood-weary homeowners, remember your belongings.
If you have any important belongings, especially in the basement, maybe start moving them on top of a table, on top of some racks, so that they don't get flooded. Also having a bag ready in case you have to evacuate.
If you must drive in the storm in the dark, watch out for uprooted trees, downed power lines, and make sure your cell phone is charged.
Only call 911 if it's a life-threatening emergency. If you have to be out on the roadway, please look for floodwaters. Never drive into the floodwaters. Turn around.
Those long hours, again, those workers are getting ready for long hours. They're going to be putting in 12-hour shifts. We're live out here in the rainy storm in St. Louis County. I'm Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
A typically quiet creek turned into whitewater rapids this morning in Gasconade County. The floodwaters swallowed a stretch of Highway K and flooded basements and fields. Some farmers even searched for cattle that could have been swept away. Crews tell us some creeks are still rising, but as of now, Highway K is back open. Slick roads in Peevely sent one semi off the road. It happened this morning when the trucker drove off I-55, hit a concrete wall, and crashed onto Highway Z. The driver has serious injuries. Another semi overturned in South County when it ran off 255 near Lindbergh. That driver has minor injuries. Tonight, first responders and even utility crews are doing their part to make sure they're able to respond in the event of a weather emergency. That means getting staffing in place and preparing for the worst. 5 on your side's Brent Solomon is live at Ameren after checking in with crews.
Well, here at Ameren, Missouri, crews have a partnership with Ameren, Illinois. If one area gets hit harder than the other, crews know how to shift gears to get your lights back on. As crews working the storm prepare to do their part, they say there are things you can do as well.
St. Louis weather, we can, 1 minute it's dry, 1 minute it's storming like crazy. So.
When bad weather hits, we've all felt the impact.
You know, there could be lightning strikes of a house, or it could be a tree into a house.
It's why Battalion Chief Rob Carroll of Florissant Valley Fire has his crews ready to jump into action. Wednesday afternoon, fire crews across the area activated a special task force due to the expected weather.
And they requested boats, so if there's flooding in the area, the teams are already rostered, and they'll be ready to be deployed at short time.
His firefighters are working their usual 48-hour shifts, knowing that at any time that call can come.
We had 6 different storms in our service territory just in the month of July.
Over at Ameren, Illinois, crews are taking a close look at the forecast.
We're hoping we don't have as much wind as we've had this last storm that rolled in on Saturday, so we're monitoring that. We're on alert and we're ready whatever Mother Nature throws our way.
Meantime, both agencies say there are steps you can take to stay safe, like having an emergency kit at home.
Any kind of medication that you might need for a couple of days, you want to have some bottled water in there, you want to have a can opener.
And even though you've heard it before, officials want to stress, do not drive into standing water.
It only takes a couple inches for cars these days to float. So a couple inches of water can make you be pushed off-road into deeper water.
And speaking of emergency kits, a flashlight is a good idea as well. They also say go ahead and charge up your cell phones and your iPads, maybe even fuel up the car, because gas stations lose power too. Live in St. Louis tonight, Brent Solomon, 5 on your side.
The Weather First forecast is available 24/7. Just text the word weather to 314-425-5355 and we'll send you a link. The preliminary report for the deadly Greyhound bus crash says it could take 2 years before we know exactly what happened. The National Transportation Safety Board just released the report this morning. 3 people died on July 12th when the bus slammed into 3 semi-trucks that were parked on the side of I-70. 2 survivors are suing Greyhound. Tonight, local elected officials held a town hall meeting in New Melle to discuss recently released information about radioactive waste contamination in the metro area. 5 on your side's Laura Barcheski brings us the details and what these officials want from the public.
So this here, that's just open waste that was blowing.
State Representative Tricia Burns says she recently found out about a lawsuit against the Department of Energy connected to an atomic bomb plant in Ohio from the 1990s.
They were going to pay out for property damage and stress. They said, we don't think we harmed anyone, but we would feel, I'm paraphrasing, we'd feel better about it. and then they were offering health monitoring to make sure that they stay safe.
That plant was the sister plant to the one in Weldon Spring.
But meanwhile at Weldon, 1,000 feet from a high school, while we had cleanup, they did a PR stunt on our people, and that included field trips, that included open houses, that included having scientists help us with our science fairs.
There was a line out the door here in New Melly for a town hall meeting where some people, for the first time, were learning about radioactive contamination in their community and now what's being done about it.
It is apparent to me that even as far back as 30 years ago, things were going on behind the backs of American and county citizens, and we were assured that the problem was being taken care of or fixed.
U.S. Senator Josh Hawley was able to get an amendment to a current law passed in the Senate that would provide compensation for people with medical conditions caused by exposure to radioactive waste.
While it passed the Senate, this is not the final version that will pass. It will be taken up by the House of Representatives in what they call a conference committee. We can make improvements, we can make changes to that legislation.
Reporting in New Melly, Laura Barcheski, 5 on your side.
If you were not able to come to the meeting and you have been affected by radioactive waste in the metro area, reach out to Senator Josh Hawley's office and let them know what zip code you live in and the medical condition you have so they can make changes to legislation. We'll have information on KSDK.com. Charged with trying to overturn the 2020 presidential election, former President Trump will go before a federal judge as his rivals are weighing in on his indictment. Stretching your dollar and not your wallet.
I mean, we have things on the floor that are brand new for $5.
Where you can stock up on your back-to-school needs while making ends meet.
The weather first, storm alert continues around the St. Louis area. More important, though, to the southwest of St. Louis, heading down 44. Intense thunderstorms right now. Washington County, Crawford County, Phelps County, all under severe thunderstorm warnings, 40 to 60 mile per hour winds, torrential rain. Now flash flood warning, southwestern Franklin County into Gasconade County. What's going to get into the metro area? Won't be this bad. Back in a minute.
Former President Donald Trump will appear in federal court tomorrow afternoon, charged with trying to overturn the 2020 presidential election. The federal indictment alleges the former president spread lies that he won the election when he knew they were false, and ultimately culminated the January 6th Capitol attack. His legal team using a free speech defense.
It's the first time that a sitting president is attacking a political opponent on First Amendment grounds and basically making a criminal to state your position.
President Trump asked me to put him over the Constitution, but I chose the Constitution.
There are 6 unnamed co-conspirators in this case, but as of right now, only the former president has been indicted. The Cardinals fan known as Rally Runner was arrested today in relation to the January 6th Capitol riots. Daniel Donnelly was federally indicted, facing 5 charges. He was caught on camera with red face paint, sunglasses, and a Make America Great Again hat. Agents say he used a stolen shield to help other rioters attack police officers. Donnelly earned the nickname Rally Runner for running around Busch Stadium during Cards games with his face painted red. It's time for local leaders to take action against gun violence. That is the message from St. Louis County Council Chair Shalonda Webb. Just yesterday, she heard Kansas City Mayor Quinton Lucas propose 2 laws. One to prevent minors from buying ammo without parental consent. The second, ban devices that turn handguns into fully automatic weapons. From there, Webb took notice.
When I see someone doing their due diligence to come up with real solutions, I feel like it's my responsibility to say, hey, how can we engage? How can we also provide that benefit to the county, St. Louis County residents?
Right now, an open carry bill sits on Mayor Tashara Jones' desk, a bill Councilwoman Webb endorses. It will automatically become law August 9th if Mayor Jones does not sign it. A cat living outside the St. Louis Police Department's North Patrol Division needs a new home. The police commander is evicting the cat named Felony because people are having allergic reactions. Felony started showing up at the station in 2017 and even got this custom cat house. Officers told 5 on Your Side the beloved mascot is being removed from the station tomorrow and is going to someone's home. It is back to school time already, but you don't have to break the bank when you're clothes shopping. Michelle Lee shows us about a big consignment sale happening this week in tonight's Making Ends Meet.
Everybody knows kids are so expensive, but I'm going to show you how you can get a full wardrobe for fall and winter for less than 2 tanks of gas. Come on.
Hi, oh my gosh, Tracy, I'm so excited to see you.
Yeah, you too. Tell us where we are.
So we are at Just Between Friends, Kirkwood Arnold. We are a community marketplace that provides a place for local families to sell their gently loved kids items and shop for things that are 50 to 90% below retail. Shoes, clothes, infant equipment, books, games, puzzles, anything you need to clothe and entertain your kids for the next 2 seasons.
Just Between Friends is a national consignment franchise. This one is in Kirkwood Arnold. 200 families will sell their new or gently used items, and the timing is perfect.
What are people telling you as they're, shopping for the school season? I mean, we have things on the floor that are brand new for $5, like Under Armour. You can't beat that.
This is where you go to stretch your dollar, and Tracy's made it easy.
So everything you see on this rolling rack is less than $100. Great Lands End jacket, $12, winter coat. Retail, this would probably be $50, $60. This is an item that's brand new with tags. This cute little dress is $7.
Proving that your wallet doesn't have to grow as fast as your kids. Not only can you get a deal, you can cut one too.
Lots of families are selling with us because it's a great way to make extra money. And it's sustainable, so we're keeping things out of the landfill, which is awesome. And so it's just the perfect place to sell and shop.
Okay, Tracy, thank you so much and good luck.
Thank you.
The sale is now through August 5th at the Bud Dome 2 in Green Park. And if you're trying your luck for an even bigger deal, most items are half off on the last day. We are in storm alert. A flood watch is in effect right now. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell joining us with more of the weather first forecast. Scott.
Yeah, we actually have some warnings now southwest of St. Louis. It really looks like, and I don't want to completely take it off the table, but it really looks like the majority of the metro area will miss the worst of this system. Okay, now if you are southwest or south of St. Louis, that is not the case. Things totally different here as you go down Highway 44. This is where we have our heavier rain. This is where all the lightning has been this evening for sure. Look at that. Tracy Hintz was just telling me about 3,000 lightning strikes just in this area here. So severe thunderstorm warnings are in effect. Phelps County, Crawford County, into Washington County, Missouri. And we have a flash flood warning into southern portions of Gasconade County and southwestern Franklin County, areas that had heavy rain earlier this morning. Now, Cuba had about a 40-mile-per-hour wind gust with this as it came through. Didn't look like it was terribly strong going through Sullivan, but as we look down towards Steelville and right along Highway 8 as you're going through the Mark Twain Forest here over towards Potosi, there is a nose of pretty strong winds likely to stay just north of downtown Potosi, but trying to head over towards Bonne Terre and Highway 67, maybe into that Valley Mines area as we get into southern Jefferson County. That's where it's really picking up. You can see all the lightning with this. So you have torrential rain, you have gusty winds. There may be some small hail in here, but our severe weather threat really think that's going to be to the south and southwest of St. Louis, even though technically St. Louis is still in that severe thunderstorm watch. We're also, all of us, in the flood watch. Here's the deal. South and southwest of St. Louis, you have the big strong storms now. There is additional development going on back to the northwest and to the west. That will track over many of the same areas through the overnight hours. Each time one of those stronger storms or a storm complex comes through, it dumps another couple of 3 inches of rain. And so some spots in here, there's going to be a narrow band. We think southwest of St. Louis, maybe Franklin County, western Jefferson County, down into St. Francis, Washington County. There's going to be a band somewhere west and southwest of St. Louis that ends up with somewhere on the order of 6 to 9 inches of rain. Exactly where that's going to be, still a bit of a question, but what we feel more confident about is that it's not going to be in the immediate metro area. It's more rural areas. But if you're in those areas southwest of St. Louis, one thing you want to make sure you are not doing, and we're talking hilly terrain southwest of St. Louis, driving into the flooded roads. If there's water on the road, you don't know if the road underneath has been washed out. That water, it only takes about 6 inches fast flowing water. It'll move you. All right, move that car into deeper water, and then you're in big trouble. Move to higher ground if you're told to do so. That's one of the big things. If you get an order, your phone goes off in the middle of the night, make sure it's on with the alerts turned on. If you're told to get out, you need to go, and you need to do it quickly. And make sure we're all staying away from those floodwaters. They'll be around as we head into tomorrow morning, too. This is ongoing today in St. Louis. We'll begin at 4 a.m. Of course, we'll be here all night to keep you updated. Temperatures, they're not going much lower tonight. Low 70s, muggy. Periods of rain and thunder. If you are under those thunderstorms southwest of St. Louis, you know you're not going to get much sleep tonight because it's ongoing, continuous lightning and thunder. It is noisy, and that rain is just pounding. Weather alert will continue through tomorrow morning, our storm alert. Then as this system winds down and the rain pulls away, we should be pretty quiet tomorrow afternoon. Another storm chance and over the weekend as it feels more like August with temperatures right around 90.
Thank you for the update, Scott. Holden is in for Frank tonight. What's coming up in sports?
Well, one night after trading away 20% of their roster, the Cardinals look like a little bit different of a team tonight at Busch. But what's the team going to look like next year? Cards insider Katie Wu has the answers after the break.
The Sports Desk is sponsored by Jim Butler Chevrolet, the Midwest's #1 Chevy dealer 10 years running.
The Cardinals traded away 20% of their active roster at the trade deadline, and it really looked like it last night in the 3-2 loss to Minnesota. As for tonight's game, well, what a difference a day can make. It was a big second inning for the Cardinals. Tyler O'Neill recently went 3 months between home runs. Now he's at 2 in less than 24 hours. Just a few batters later, Jordan Walker would keep the line moving as he hits his own solo shot out to left field. And then to finish off the inning, Lars Nootbaar is going to hit a 2-run shot of his own. The Cardinals' third home run of the inning to make it 4-0. But as good as the offense was tonight, the real story was Dakota Hudson. He went 7 innings, scattering 2 hits and 3 walks to go along with 7 strikeouts as the Cards won 7-3. Manager Ollie Marmol says he can see Hudson's confidence building.
I think we started to see it in Chicago, and he's been able to hold that all the way through. He's done a really nice job. This is a guy that has some real stuff coming at you. For righty, lefty, it doesn't matter. He's on the ground. He has swing and miss. So he's taken hold of that opportunity for sure.
The Cardinals have quite a few innings to fill over the next 2 months and plan to give Hudson, Matthew Liberatore, and Zach Thompson an extended look before deciding their pitching plan heading into 2024. With many of the prospects acquired at the deadline looking more like minor league depth at this point, free agency is an option to fill out the rotation, but Katie Wu says that plan comes with some risk.
You saw the Cardinals go out and spend $87.5 million for 5 years of Wilson Contreras over the offseason. They're going to have to spend a lot more money than that if they want to address their rotation adequately. There's only so much John Mozeliak can do in that regard. It's really on ownership, the DeWitt family, to really kind of reassess their finances and see what they're willing to spend.
The St. Louis area polo 18 and under boys team recently brought home some hardware from the Junior Olympics, but the way they did it was truly special. The game ended in regulation in a tie, setting SLU High's Evan Zimmerman up for the shootout winner on his birthday, no less. It's a situation he was prepared to thanks to his coaches, the father and son tandem of Michael and Alex Figueres. I talked to them about their dynamic behind the bench.
My dad had told me that he was going to be kind of probably the one coaching them when we were down in Texas. And, I was kind of like, well, what do I have to do to be your assistant?
He's not afraid to tell me, no, Dad, you need to do this way. Or like during the game, I was making some suggestions. Hey, he was like, no, you can't do that.
Having played for him and stuff, I knew him well enough to where I think it worked well on the bench I knew kind of what he was going to be doing. And
remember the scene at the Belle Reve, the 2018 PGA Championship? Tiger Woods put on a stunning show to finish second to Brooks Koepka, and the St. Louis Golf Nation embraced Tiger's heroic performance. Well, don't look now, but Tiger turns 50 in December of 2025, and the Ascension Charity Classic has the welcome mat out.
He loved St. Louis. He asked me what time of the year the Charity Classic was. I said September. And his response to that was, oh, great, it's good for my allergies because in August it's bad on my allergies. So that's the way Tiger thinks. And then he said, get my cart ready. I'll be out there in 2.2 years, he said. He corrected me. So we're going to hold Tiger to that.
I've got Tiger Mania, Ann. How about you?
I think everybody does. We all want to see him have some big wins before he retires one day. All right, thank you, Holden. We're back after this. We are in storm alert, and Scott has a look at the radar.
Yeah, one final check for you tonight. Now, keep in mind, we are still going to be here at 5 on your side. Weather First team, Tracy Hinson's here right now. Anthony Slaughter will be here early in the morning. We're here. We're going to stay through the night, making sure everything's okay. You'll find us on 5plus and KSDK.com. New severe thunderstorm warning just issued. It includes Farmington, Bonne Terre. It includes a chunk west and southwest of 55 into St. Genevieve County, northern parts of Madison County, Iron Reynolds County, and also you still have Washington and Crawford counties under that warning. Look at the lightning with this. Tremendous amount of lightning, strong winds with some of these storms, especially just north of Potosi right now. And this whole area is sliding towards the southeast. So you're nudging in towards the Potosi area. That's going to set its sights towards Bonne Terre. Look for 40 to 60 mile per hour winds. Here's the good news, though. The best chances for the heavier rain look to stay out of the metro area overnight, just west and southwest of St. Louis.
Thank you, Scott. Thanks for being with us for 5 on your side at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next. Jimmy's guest tonight, Kerry Washington. Have a great tomorrow.